Now, those of you who have young boys in your life, you know that little boys love to run fast. Little boys love to run real fast, regardless of how appropriate the circumstances might be. Well, this little superhero here was in the race of his life. Or to be more accurate, it was a race for his life. He held the hand of his grandfather and they ran from that wall of water that was the tsunami. 50 metres in front of them was a building. If they could get to that building, it gave them the best chance of survival. But as fast as they run, they knew they could never reach that building. They got to a tree, and Grandad climbed the tree, and he dragged this little superhero to the top of the tree. They made it to the top. They were cut, they were bleeding, and they had abrasions all over them. But they had survived. Yet there was no wild celebration at the top of the tree. You see, when Grandad was running, he had this little guy in his right hand, and in his left hand, he had his younger brother. Now, when Grandad got to the base of the tree, he knew that if he didn't survive, none of them would. He also knew he couldn't climb the tree hanging on to both of his grandchildren. He had a decision to make. Which one of his grandkids would he take up the tree, and which one would he let go of? How do you make that decision? How do you decide who lives and who dies? He let go of this little guy's brother. He was washed away, and he did die. And every day that followed, Grandad would ask himself the same series of 3 questions. He'd say, could I have run faster? Could I have been stronger? Could I have made a different decision? The thing is, he had the courage to make a difficult decision. And that's what leadership's about. And this is a typical story of the kids that come to live with us.